Hello, it's Lonnie with Crafty Traveler. We are leaving Edinburgh today and going to Glasgow. If you haven't watched my previous videos and you're an Outlander fan, you've missed some things. We went to Midhope Castle, which is Lollybrook, and we also went to Hopetoun House, which had many scenes filmed there. The main scenes in the first season were of Sandringham's palace, and you'll see the bedroom where Mary recuperated and the streets of Paris. So you might want to go back to those. I'll link them above. All right, gotta go.
Glasgow streets where the music flows, paints are raised, the laughter grows, murals bloom on every wall, a city alive, it answers the call.
This is Sue, our guide, as we tour Glasgow. We did a bus tour, but I'm not going to bore you with that. I'm now in Glasgow, and we're going to be doing a little walking tour of sites from Outlander. I'll keep you posted.
What we're going to do is into this wee nook here, this little bit in here. That is the city chambers. So this building is the city chambers. This is the civic centre of the city of Glasgow. This is our seat of local government. Okay?
Seat of local government.
And the thing is that in Glasgow, we frequently have filming happening. Okay, so Claire got married. Okay, and I want you to see if you can guess which door is the door to the registry office. Okay, so we're going to head through this bit here. And I have to say, I think I would have used one of these doors because I think they look quite nice and special. How did you know?
She's the fanatic.
She's a fanatic.
Not just a fan,
45.
You're a fanatic. Okay. So,
but we love her.
45, the door where Claire and Frank were married. It's depicted
why
in
do
London.
you think they chose this door? Because they have nicer doors. They have a door across there.
Because it's old looking.
Because it's old looking. Because it's not the little Easter egg.
45 is a hint about the 45
was in
Culloden.
1746, but it is known as the 45 Rebellion because it's
45
started in
Rebellion,
1745.
hence the
So
45 on the
this is a
door.
little Easter egg.
Wish we could
pointing
move that
towards
trash
that.
out of there. We don't touch it.
All iconography had to be removed from churches. In the Old Testament, it says to have no graven images. So the Reformed Church even banned the sign of the cross, and the old church was cross-shaped. Yeah, so a lot of churches were demolished just purely because they were crossed. They continued to build. You'll see that there's work going on in the spire at the moment. Now, the spire is actually very new. There was the tower, but the spire wasn't installed until the Victorian period. But you can guess that, well, that's pretty old now, so it is having to be restored. I'll tell you what it would have felt like to walk in here in the 1200s. So we're going to go through the main door.
We're going in the side door because there is a Scottish bagpipe band out the front.
So it would have been at least painted whitewashed, although there probably were murals on walls as well. You'll see the ceiling boxes have bright colours in them, so these would have been red from red ochre, green, blue from lapis lazuli, so that was very, very expensive, and of course gold leaf. So this was very expensive to do. So you can imagine that also upkeeping an entire cathedral like this would be an enormous expense, so that's why it's just this black adamant that they've done this with. But I'd just like to bring you here to show you what the entire cathedral would have looked like. So, as I said, you know, if you've got on your 13th century head and you're coming in here as someone who lives in one room with 9 other people and all that you're used to, dark and smell, think about coming in here and the light and the height and the smells, because it wouldn't have smelled like this. They would have been burning beeswax candles, they would have been burning incense, so it would have been a very fragrant place. Also, we've been beautifully shown what it would have been like. The service that's happening at the moment is in the choir, and the choir were only for the priests. People who were not priests or lay priests were not allowed in there, and they had a choir who would sing the Mass. So the Mass would be sung in Latin, so it would sound like heavenly voices coming from here. We can't see them, you know, because you're just hearing the noise. So the whole point of the whole building was to point the way to heaven. It was the highest thing in the landscape, and you know, it was beautifully fragrant, beautifully bright. It's like stepping into heaven, you know, what would you.
Glasgow Cathedral, dedicated to St. Mungo, is the oldest cathedral in mainland Scotland and a stunning example of medieval architecture, attracting visitors for its rich.
Because it does have that sort of enclosed feeling, but obviously this is the area where there's the most light, which is why we used here for where Claire lost her baby. But you know, she worked in l'Hôpital so the whole area was used for that. Right. Now the thing is that where we are,
This is where the hospital where Claire worked.
It's not a crypt. You can see that because there are windows. We are.
So I would have been standing at the head of the bed, and the foot of the bed is where the light is. I do remember seeing the windows in this series.
Above ground level. So down here there is stone from the earlier cathedral of 1197. I've never found it yet. I don't know where the actual stone is. But if you think about it, think about the weight of the building above us. You know, this is all being supported by these huge, great big pillars. This is where we believe the bones of St Mungo, the patron saint of Glasgow, are. Now, there are bones, there are human remains, but whether it's St Mungo or not, I couldn't testify to, and that's just in the back office there where we came in. Another medical review was given to St Mungo after his death, a number probably, but one of them's really important to me, and that is because it was during the Battle of Erskine, which is where I live, the Battle of Renfrew.
This is called the choir, and the priests were the only ones allowed in here, and the choir was for the priests, not for the lay people. Glasgow Cathedral, also known as St. Mungo's Cathedral, was built on the site where St. Mungo, the patron saint of Glasgow, is believed to have been buried in 612 AD. The cathedral's construction began in 1136 and was completed in 1197, making it the oldest building in Glasgow and one of the few medieval cathedrals in Scotland to survive the Reformation intact.
But to them it was part of their worship. But they also,
Keep going.
the Masons were real scientists, real mathematicians. If you think about, you know, an architect designing something like this today, whereas you had these masons that you started off, you know, as an apprentice, then you're a
These are now faculty buildings. On the right, this is the Student Union Lodge. That's the oldest building on University Avenue. It was originally built on the High Street in either the 1500s or the 60s. Where we're heading to, that became Harvard for the filming of Outlander. So we'll just drop off here.
and the reason it was built like this was so that it was in keeping with the old, genuine Gothic buildings. Right. And it's also why it's built in blonde sandstone, so that it's in keeping with that. By the time this was built, red sandstone was much more fashionable, but you can see even the windows are made to look much older than they actually are. We're going to head round the corner.
The University of Glasgow was founded in 1451 by a charter from Pope Nicholas V at the suggestion of King James II, giving Bishop William Turnbull, a graduate of the University of St. Andrews, permission to add a university to the city's cathedral. It is the second oldest university in Scotland after St. Andrews, and the fourth oldest in English-speaking world. The universities of St. Andrews, Glasgow, and Aberdeen were ecclesiastic foundations. The University of Glasgow alumni include some of the major figures of modern history. This is where some of Outlander was filmed. The University of Glasgow in Glasgow, Scotland is renowned for its Gothic Revival style architecture. The university's main building, the Gilbert Scott Building, is an architectural masterpiece that stands out from the rest of the city. After our bus tour and walking tour, we were all very hungry, and we went to the Piper Whiskey Bar. This is a traditional Scottish pub serving homemade Scottish favorites with live entertainment every day, and you can enjoy some great musicians while you enjoy the location and views of George Square. Lunch today, and this is called Tablet, was brought to us by one of our travelers' friends. Fresh made tablet, which is like a very firm fudge. I have coronation chicken sandwich and hot tea to drink. And after every good meal, you gotta stop off at the toilet. I hope you liked this video. Give me a thumbs up. I'd like to thank my supporters, Rita, Sherry, Desert Adventures, and Sally Forth, for supporting my channel. Stay crafty, smart, creative, and safe when touring Glasgow, Scotland. Thanks so much for watching. Bye now.